A scandal was brought to light.
This is the worst possible behavior of an elected official.
A campaign consultant mailing fake voter guides in Florida. Trump speaks on Iran and the Strait of Hormuz over the NATO summit.
And it's just a waste of time dealing with them.
Ahead of a collapsing peace deal. And a father visiting Florida has to save his son from a gator attack.
No thought process, but that was the only, it was just instinct.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Enzo Paso.
I'm Ana Valentina Rodriguez. Today is Wednesday, July 8th, 2026.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
We begin this morning with a political flyer, and women prosecutors are calling it a lie. Two Florida St. Johns County commissioners and a former mayor are now being charged with crimes connected to a fake voter guide.
These fake guidelines were sent to mailboxes across the country in 2024. WTLV reporter Jessica Clark has the story.
If you were trying to write an election fraud movie, I think you wouldn't even write it this crazy.
According to court documents released Tuesday, the main character in this fake voter guide case is Brianna Jordan, a campaign consultant who had clients, including candidates in the 2024 St. Johns County races. According to the court documents, she created a fake voter guide that looked very similar to the official St. Johns County Republican voter guide, but the so-called endorsed candidates on the fake guide included her clients. Then, August 1st, the documents say Jordan held a secret envelope stuffing operation at this house she rented in St. Augustine on Grant Street. According to witnesses in the report, there was a group of people there at the house to stuff the fake voter guides into envelopes. And the people there putting labels and stamps on the envelopes, according to witnesses, include St. Johns County Commissioner Sarah Arnold, Christian Whitehurst, a county commissioner as well, and St. Augustine Beach Mayor at the time, Dylan Rumwell.
This is the worst possible behavior of an elected official.
Denver Cook is the chair of the St. Johns County Republican Party. His organization put out the official voter guide with the group's officially endorsed candidates for the 2024 election. He did not know about the fake guide until it showed up in voters' mailboxes just before early voting started in the 2024 primary election. Now back to that secretive envelope stuffing party. It lasted at least 5 hours at this house, according to one witness in the documents. The documents say campaign consultant Jordan then had the fake guides mailed out of Jacksonville and Orlando to Republican supervoters in St. Johns County. When people started to receive them, Cook reported the fake guide to the sheriff's office. An investigation started, and the court documents say Jordan destroyed evidence of the incident by burning the fraudulent voter guides in the backyard of Campaign House on Grant Street.
President Trump was in Turkey this morning, taking part in the NATO summit and expressing strong opinions on Iran. Tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to rise after President Trump stated that the memo of understanding between both countries is now over.
They're scum. They're sick people. They're led by sick people. And they're vicious, violent people. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it. As far as I'm concerned, it's over.
If these conflicts and oil prices continue to rise, we might be seeing even higher gas prices in the near future.
The man charged with killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk was back in court yesterday. It was the second day of a multi-day preliminary hearing for the 23-year-old Tyler Robinson. The hearing is for the judge to determine if probable cause supports the charges. If the judge allows the case to proceed, Robinson will then have a hearing and a chance to enter the pleas. Kirk's parents and widow attended to the hearing. They stepped out when the defense described the video of the shooting. Robinson's family also attended at Tuesday's hearing, and Donald J. Trump Jr. was there. The president's son was a close friend of Charlie Kirk's.
Former Florida gubernatorial candidate Andrew Gillum is facing a new legal trouble. Authorities in Alabama say Gillum was arrested last week on drug possession charges following a traffic stop. He was later released. The former Tallahassee mayor narrowly lost Florida's 2018 governor's race to Ron DeSantis.
An 11-year-old boy is recovering after being attacked by an alligator while in Florida for a vacation. Wes Kennedy Mason has more.
11-year-old Brody and his dad, Peter DeTuri, are back home in Pennsylvania after a family trip to Florida.
For the last couple of years, we've been going down there.
For Brody, every trip meant one thing: fishing.
He always has to bring his fishing pole with him. So any chance he sees water, he's like, you know, let's go fishing.
The two were at Nelson's Fish Camp in Marion County when Brody caught a fish. As he went to release it, an alligator grabbed his arm. Peter says he jumped on the alligator, trying to pry its jaws open to free his son.
There was no thought process, but that was the only, I mean, it was just instinct. The officers all said that if I didn't go on top of it and had caused it to roll, it would have pulled him into the water before rolling.
As he yelled for someone to call 911, bystanders rushed over to help.
Having nobody around too, having people there, I can't thank them enough. It just, sorry.
Now the family is focused on Brody's recovery. Peter says they're headed to another doctor's appointment, one of many still ahead. Doctors have discussed both transplant and prosthetic options as Brody begins adjusting to life after the attack.
He's leaning in towards looking at the prosthetics.
He says it's going to be a long road ahead, both physically and mentally.
Do you think Brody will look forward to trips to Florida now, or is he not going to want to go back anymore?
Right now, that's absolutely not going to happen. He is deathly afraid of Florida.
What started as a day of snorkeling quickly turned into a water rescue in Destin. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office say 2 people were swept away from shore by a strong current on the 4th of July. Marine deputies found them waving for help and quickly brought them to safety. Officials say both snorkelers were unharmed.
Well, we have a hazy morning ahead of us, but how long will that last?
Well, that's still ahead, and so is the story.
Here comes Griffin Conine. He scores.
After a big road trip, the Miami Marlins are back home. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level.
Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
We've hit the midpoint of the work week, and depending on where you live, it's been a wet start. There's a lot riding on how the week finishes, especially if you're holding tickets to the Friday World Cup's quarterfinal.
That's right. Daniela Callejas joins us with the forecast. Good morning, Daniela.
Good morning. Reporting from Miami International Airport, we're getting a reading of 89 degrees with a dew point of 78 degrees, raising that feels like temperature into our triple digits. Now for our current temperatures here in South Florida, we see high 80s across the board with Fort Lauderdale at 88, Pembroke Pines at 86, and Kendall at 86 as well. And in our Keys, we see 89 and 90 in Marathon and Key West respectively. Now all this heat has prompted a heat advisory from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. so make sure to stay hydrated throughout the day. Now taking a quick look at our live radar, you see it's quite dry in Broward County and Miami-Dade County, but you could expect to see a shower or two later on throughout the day. Now for our tropics, it's quite calm right now, and that's mainly due to the Saharan desert dust coming in from Africa, so we won't be seeing any development within the next 7 days. Now back to more local weather for our boaters, we can expect to see winds come in from the southeast at 5 to 10 knots, seas at 2 to 3 feet, waters with a moderate chop, and a moderate rip current threat. So if you are planning on going out to the beach, make sure to stay safe. Now my forecast for today is a high of 91 with mostly sunny skies. Tonight that temperature is going to drop down to 83 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and tomorrow that temperature is going to rise back up to 91 with mostly sunny skies. Now this is a trend we'll see in our 7-day forecast. As we can see, it's going to be quite dry this week and this weekend, but as the next week begins, we'll see our rain chances increase from 10 to 30% with our highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s and our lows in the lower 80s. That's all for weather, and we'll be right back.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes?
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Panthertech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
As we turn to sports this morning, Argentina is flexing a little messy muscle, empowering into the World Cup quarterfinals. This is a segment we call the sideline, and the defending champions made a comeback for the ages yesterday against Egypt in the round of 16. Going to the 20th minutes in the game, Egypt was winning 2-0, but Christian Romero scored in the 79th minute to start the 3-2 comeback win for Argentina. This is the second time that La Albiceleste came back and won in the knockout rounds of the FIFA World Cup. The first time a 2-1 win over Mexico in 2006 tournament. In other football news, Colombia In other football news, Colombia fell to Switzerland in penalties in the second game of the round of 16 yesterday. The two teams exchanged multiple opportunities to score in both regulation and extra time, but were not able to capitalize. Switzerland Ruben Vargas scored the winning penalty in a 4-3 shootout win to send the team to their fourth quarterfinal appearance in their first 72 years. Switzerland will face Argentina, who is looking for their second straight FIFA World Cup title in Kansas City at Saturday at 9 p.m. And now heading to baseball, the Marlins' hot streak continued last night against the Seattle Mariners at home. Miami started off strong with 4 runs by the 4th inning. The Mariners brought it back to a 5-5 in the 9th. The single by the Marlins in overtime brought the final score to a Marlins 6, Mariners 5. The Marlins will face the Mariners tonight at 6:40 p.m.
That's all the time that we have for Newsbreak. I'm Ana Valentina Rodriguez.
And I'm Enzo Paso. You can get more news at any time at caplinnews.fiu.edu.